up. You persevere. Because if I could do it, if I could get an education, if I could erase the tape that was, put into my head for many years that I couldn't do it, and then do it, then anybody can do it. You guys, whatever you desire to do, you can do. Whatever you desire in this life, ultimately it's going to be up to you, not your parents.
Okay, so we were working on the RCD unit called Life After High School. And it's the senior portfolio unit where students have to build job resumes, job applications, they get letters of recommendation. And so that was the foundation for one of our RCD units. All right, well, I'd like to welcome all the freshmen, Ms. Culverson's class to my class. We're so excited to have you, and we're excited to have you at Indian Springs. I told my seniors about mentoring a freshman, and they were really excited because when they started at this school 4 years ago, there were no seniors on campus. And so the goal of today is to just kind of talk to you a little bit and mentor you about high school and how to be successful in high school and some of the things that you can do to get ready. Freshmen, would you please get out a piece of paper and take notes? They have a little question sheet that you need to respond to. When I sat down and looked at this RCD unit, I knew I wanted to add some things to it. I didn't want the senior portfolio to be something that would just sit on a shelf. I wanted it to be something that students would learn how to use and engage with. I wanted students to have an experience being mentored by others and also mentoring other freshmen. So I brought in freshman students. We partnered with a freshman class, and we set up a little mentorship. The freshmen, half of the freshmen came into my classroom, and half of my seniors went into a freshman class that we kind of adopted. And they mentored the freshmen about what goes in a senior portfolio, how is it useful 4 years down the line. The senior portfolio has the potential to be much more effective if students start working on it at a younger age when they're incoming freshmen.
But I know that at one point I was you, and I didn't know what I was doing in high school. I was lost completely. Right now, if you're not in any clubs, just like Mr. Tacchia said, get some into it. Try them out. If you don't like them, drop them. But try them out, because I know you will find something. There's something. Oh, there's always something. Honestly, I always thought there was nothing for me. I thought I was dumb when I was a freshman, and I thought nothing was for me. And then I found speech and debate in youth court, and it just saved me, honestly.
So in the mentoring portion of this assignment, I had a very structured set of questions and things that the seniors had to go over with the freshman students. We started off with introductions, and then they went into showing the freshmen their portfolios. They went through it page by page. They showed them the different parts of the portfolio, and they explained to them why it's important to start working toward an end goal as a freshman in high school. Yesterday, students mentored freshman students. So the freshmen came into our classroom and seniors got a chance to talk to them and mentor them. Today the roles are kind of reversed. You're the ones mentoring them. You've all been very successful, and you have good jobs and robust educational backgrounds that you can share with the students. And so here are some talking points that I've listed for you guys to talk about. The second part of this project is when I had adults come in and mentor senior students about their educational path and their career journey. The reason that I brought in adults to mentor the students is because I wanted students to hear real stories from real adults who were successful, who had strong educational backgrounds and strong careers. Our students don't have a whole lot of role models in their life that are successful, and so when they can hear successful stories from multiple people, it helps them to envision their own success.
As a child, I did not live in America. I lived in another country. I lived in Colombia, so when I came to America, I didn't speak any English, so I was a student that was an English learner, so I think that's a big thing because it's a huge obstacle to overcome as a child. We came because of turmoil in our country, as you guys are seeing in countries today, like in Mexico and in the Middle East. There's a lot of warfare going on. with like drug trafficking and just the government with the guerrillas. I mean, it's just all over, right? So my parents brought us because of the safety. They're like, we're going to bring our children. We have nothing, and they came over with nothing. They wanted to get us away from that lifestyle, okay? So when they came here, I was young. I was in elementary school, and I didn't speak any English, and I was like heavily bullied because all the kids in my school spoke English, and I was the only one that spoke Spanish.
I also wanted to get them comfortable speaking with adults so that when they actually go on job interviews, they have a little more experience and they feel comfortable. The adults who mentored the students in my classroom were able to give them tips on interview skills. We're able to mentor them a little bit about what hiring managers look for. And so I think the experience of them talking with an adult and sitting down and getting some one-on-one or group mentorship was a good experience for them.
Interviews, you do get nervous. I know for me, it feels like my heart is going to pound out of my chest. Even though I feel like I got it and I can answer all the questions they're going to ask me, I'm still nervous. But don't let them see that. So when you're going on an interview, make sure you're going at least 10 to 15 minutes early, on time. Make sure you're dressed professionally. Make sure that you research the company or the business that you're going to be interviewing for. And make sure that you have a line to give them. Let them know how you're going to be able to be an asset to their company, how you're going to benefit and grow their company. Okay? So let them know, kind of sell yourself. Let them know why they should choose you.
So the way I set up the room when the adult mentors came in was I organized the tables into groups of about 8 to 10 students, and I put the adults at the head of the table. And so I would have the adults rotate. They would speak with each group for 15 minutes, and then I would prompt them to speak a little bit about job interviews at the end and give some interview tips, and then I would have the adults rotate. So every 15 minutes, students got to hear from another adult, another story about their education and career journey. Okay, I will ask you questions from this list. I won't ask you every single one, but the ones I will definitely ask you, I'll ask every single student. The first question, tell me about yourself, and the last question, do you have any questions for me? I'm going to start and end every interview the same with those two questions, so be prepared for them. I'll probably ask you 5 or 6 of those. Okay? It won't be too long. It'll be like a 3-minute interview. Okay? I'll ask you, tell me about yourself. I'll randomly choose some questions off this list, and I'll change it up. I won't ask everyone all the same questions. Okay? But from this list, be prepared for all of them. Make sure you have an answer ready for each of those questions so that if I ask you, you have something that you're ready to say. All right? Okay, here's what I want to do next. We have 25 minutes. I want to come around and I'm going to check your notes from last week's guest speakers, and I'm going to check your rough drafts for parts 1 and 2. So I'll be coming around to check those and enter them into the grade book. While I'm doing that, I would like for you to sit with a partner and take turns asking each other these questions, practicing these questions. All right? So I'm going to give you 1 minute to find a partner and put your desks so that they're facing each other. Find a partner, face your desks together. Everyone needs a partner. You have 1 minute. Go.
What's your biggest accomplishment?
My biggest accomplishment, to be honest, is really being in the health academy. For me, it's a big step. It's teaching me a lot of responsibility, and it's giving me a head start, and it's teaching me a lot of knowledge, and I'm getting the experience stuff that most a lot of high school students don't get experience.
Besides your classes, what activity has been most important in terms of your personal growth?
Well, I have 2 activities, which would be cross-country and choir. Cross-country helped me not be shy around people, helped me reach a goal. My coaches would always tell me, you start a race, so you finish it. So whatever I start, I have to finish. And for choir, it helped me not to be embarrassed, to be who I am in front of people.
I decided to do mock interviews with all of my students because students in our community in San Bernardino really need experience in speaking and listening and verbal communication. And Brianna, tell me about yourself.
I am still currently in my senior year of high school at Indian Springs, and I've been at school since preschool to where I am currently, and I've been involved in GATE and honors classes since middle and high school. After high school, I want to go to either a university or do a community and then transferring to university to get my bachelor's or my master's. And some colleges I have in mind so far are Cal Baptist.
So the way that I set up the classroom for the mock interview is I have 2 desks at the front of the classroom, and they're facing each other, and I call each student up one by one, and they sit down, we shake hands, and then they introduce themselves and we conduct an interview. The rest of the class is sitting, watching. I had the laptops out so that they could be working on their final essay. And so they were kind of dividing their time between working on their writing assignment while also observing other students be interviewed and gaining some knowledge from that interview experience, which they're writing about in their final essay. These units allow teachers to be creative. They allow teachers to add their own twist on things. And I think to embrace these RCD units is kind of to embrace teaching and the reasons why we went in the profession, to inspire students, to really get them engaged, critically thinking, and not have every class be so lecture-based.